Title: Birthday Behind Bars, Unmasking the Chill Life of Political Prisoners in Russian Penal Colonies. TLDR. This story peeks into the not-so-glam life of political prisoners in Russia, particularly focusing on the experiences of Alexei Navalny, a prominent political adversary of President Putin. Navalny's enduring a 9-year stint in a stark cell with no calls or visits allowed, and the playlist there sounds like a broken record stuck on Putin's speeches. However, he isn't alone in this harsh reality. The number of political prisoners in Russia has skyrocketed from 183 in 2018 to 558 as of April. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department paints a grim picture of Russian prisons where overcrowding, abuse, and inadequate access to healthcare and sanitation are common. In the heartland of Russia, as Alexei Navalny blows out 47 invisible candles on his birthday cake, he'll be surrounded by cold, bare concrete in a minuscule cell, rather than his loved ones. No calls or visits, just the dulcet tones of Putin's speeches to keep him company. Quite a party, huh? Could you imagine waking up every morning to political propaganda instead of your favorite breakfast show? Navalny, once the thorn in President Putin's political side, is the champion of this peculiar punishment. Serving a 9-year term ending in 2030 on charges many see as fabricated, he is facing yet another trial that could extend his vacation by another 2 decades. Can you imagine your life reduced to a tiny cell, meager diet, and limited writing hours? What if your cellmate had a lackadaisical approach to personal hygiene? And, just for an added bonus, imagine patriotic songs and presidential speeches as your lullaby. Sounds like a perfect storm of misery, doesn't it? But let's not forget about our less-known political prisoners. Names like Andrei Pivovarov, a former leader of Open Russia, are also getting the full penal colony experience. Stuck in an isolation cell in Penal Colony No. 7, his only outdoor relief is a fleeting 90-minute session. His only conversation companions: his attorneys. Would it surprise you that fellow inmates are forbidden to even make eye contact with Pivovarov? How would you feel living in a world of maximum isolation? Pivovarov's crime? Getting involved with an undesirable organization, which, as of 2015, has become an offense. His sentence: 4 full years of the penal colony's hospitality. Can you fathom how his life turned upside down overnight? But remember, each story is unique, and each penal colony has its own charm. Take Alexei Goranov, a former council member, who was convicted for spreading false information about the army. His living conditions are considerably different from those of Navalny or Pivovarov. He's not alone in a cold cell, but housed in barracks with about 50 other inmates, with privileges like watching TV and brewing tea. Nevertheless, it's not all rosy for Goranov. Health services are, at best, sketchy. Could you picture living in an environment where breaking a fever is considered the pinnacle of medical aid? Sasha Skokolenko, artist, musician, and holder of a congenital heart defect, offers another glimpse into these detention centers. Arrested for substituting supermarket price tags with anti-war slogans, she's suffering from health issues exacerbated by inadequate food supplies. How would you manage on a half-eaten,